Hi everyone, Draco Prime 220 here, and this is going to be a quick video. I don't want to make it too long. I want to talk about something that was possibly inevitable. I've been processing the thoughts on this video for the past couple days because it is once again revolved around My Little Pony Make Your Mark, the leaked Season 2 we were going to get. And since we know a certain book horse was going to make a comeback, I could say with the utmost certainty, that an inevitable rematch was bound to happen. Now, if you're thinking, I'm not talking about Sunny fighting Opaline. That's one's obvious. That would have probably have happened. I am talking about the Princess of Friendship, ruler of Equestria, facing against the pony who pretty much ruined everything. I am, of course, talking about the inevitable rematch from long ago to today's present of Twilight Sparkle versus Opaline. Now, my first thing is, what would Twilight... we've seen Twilight briefly in the show as a hologram, but she was meant to appear officially in the show, according to the leaked animatic The Greatest Gift. My question is, I know they were trying to get Twilight's older, newer design from the final episode into the Make Your Mark show, but they said they wanted to go and make it something that was familiar, that people would recognize. But, in the Tell Your Tale animatic, it is revealed that, Twilight is actually was gonna be her full size, her newest form from the final episode of FIM. Would they have kept her? Because I do know the animatic kind of shows Twilight as her normal self that we remember her as before she became Celestia size. I'm wondering which form they would have used. I actually will be honest. I think Robin Jax's design for Twilight, even though it's not really different, you could tell it's like a medium, you could tell Twilight's a little bit bigger, but it's still recognizable as she was before she got to Celestia size. I think that would have been an interesting take on Twilight's design, something that's a middle ground between something we recognize and something that was new, to say the least. Now, how this fight would have probably played out, there are a few ways this could have gone. Opaline Arcana was going to team up with Allura. I do think, maybe Allura and Allura could have been a distraction. This is my first scenario. Opaline wants, to get, maybe they plan a form of an attack to kind of split the group up, leading to Allura being a distraction and Opaline being the main one they go up against, trying to divide and conquer, so to speak. Now, my thing is, that was one scenario. Now, the second scenario is that Twilight has kind of revealed herself to some of the ponies, but Opaline is kind of unaware that she's back. And it could be like the traditional surprise, I'm back, that kind of villain, the villain going, no, it's not possible. How are you back? That sort of thing. That could have been a scenario, or Twilight Sparkle's return is already known to Allura and Opaline. And Free Space said something very interesting, that if Opaline did defeat Twilight, she would have been boasting and bragging about it. Let's face it, Opaline Arcana is a bit of a boaster. She could not help but, every time I beat Twilight Sparkle. Can you imagine how many times, if she did beat Twilight, that she would have brought it up? She would have probably brought that up more than the word alicorn being used in the episode Alicond. I'm not kidding. Even Folan Cortez kind of brought that up, how many times the word alicorn was used. I think Opaline would have probably have boasted and bragged more times about her defeating Twilight, if she did, than the word alicorn was brought up. Now, he made a very interesting case. No one really won. It was probably a stalemate. It was probably as Tarek would say, an impasse. Or a draw, if you want to use the Wild West term of, Wild West movie, Western Wild West films. I would have to say, that is like the most obvious. But also, I would like to believe that Twilight did win. But I think if she did win, I don't think she would have done what she did with the crystals. Or maybe she did, since she knew Opaline would probably come back. We don't know. Once again, we have no answers. But, yeah, I think that's actually a very realistic theory that neither one succeeded in victory. Because let's think about it. Twilight was at the peak of her power in magic skills, and on top of that, she was now Celestia size. And Opaline was just absorbing probably magic everywhere. Like dragons, pony magic, you name it. You know what I mean? They were both possibly near equal in strength and power. And they could probably meet each other blow for blow, whether it was physical attacks or magic attacks. We don't know. But, now, the one thing I am kind of curious about, how would Twilight's fighting style would have been? Would she have tried to talk Opaline down? But wouldn't it be interesting if Twilight, was this is the pony that ruined everything the main six did. Because of Opaline, the tribe separated, magic had to be sealed away. Everything pretty much, like I said in another video, Opaline got further than, the closest that any of the villains have gotten close to what Opaline accomplished was Tarek, Cozy Glow, and Queen Chrysalis. Opaline actually was the one who succeeded, where they got so close but still failed. Because especially if it was a draw, Twilight Sparkle had to make a very big decision. Now, I am going to be honest with you. I think it would have been interesting if, Twilight, over the years, let's face it, Twilight over the years being trapped in being in the star, and still, we don't know how she got in there. Did she do it herself? Did some villain do it? Or did she ask Cadence or Celestia or Luna? Now that I think about it, what if she asked Luna to do it? Think about it. Luna was trapped inside the moon for 1,000 years, and isn't it kind of weird that Twilight decided to be put into a star? What if she asked Luna, she feels like she failed, and maybe she has a kindred spirit with Luna? Now that would have been interesting. Now, how I could see the fight going, there's two scenarios with this. First scenario, which would have been the most likely and not surprising, is Twilight trying to talk Opaline down, maybe saying, how many times do we have to do this? Why do we gotta keep doing this? And I do believe we would have gotten more backstory with Opaline. And if we were going to see other alicorns, probably Celestia and Luna were going to be the ones to kind of reveal what was really Opaline's issue. What was really going on with her. But I think would have been an interesting twist. Once again, Twilight's been trapped in the star. And according to CXCD, her friends were stone. But the rest of her friends and family are gone. And I do think Season 2 could have, really been a tearjerker. Thinking, if we go really back and think about, Discord has been under the impression, if you want to consider the comics canon, Discord's been under the impression this whole time that Fluttershy is dead. And how would he respond to finding out they were turned to stone just like him? Would he be very resentful? Would he be angry? Or would he be understanding? We don't know. And I will say, as a side note, if John Delancey came back as Discord, his performance would have probably broken our hearts. I do think season 2 could have, if that was going to be the final, like, for Make Your Mark, that could have been a tearjerker. I really think it could have been both a tearjerker in a good and happy way, because probably we would have gotten a bunch of answers revolving around the species that we did not see, characters that are still around, and characters that are gone. We would have gotten everything, the whole enchilada. Now, what I think the most interesting thing, how the second scenario, how this fight could have gone, is that what if Twilight is done holding back? What if she was to realize that not every creature wants to change for the better and doesn't want to value friendship? What if she just went in for the attack? I know that would be kind of out of character for Twilight to go out and just outright attack, but you gotta give her motivation, like, for example, with Tyrek, when he destroyed the library. She went apeshit on him. Tyrek should consider himself lucky that he had all the magic in him to keep himself from being completely obliterated by Twilight Sparkle. I think that was the only thing saving his ass from being killed immediately. Did you see the blast she was delivering at him? He should have been extra crispy, deep fried even, after those blasts. If he survived the first one, he should not have survived the first one. And I think the only reason is because he took all the pony's magic and discords. So that probably helped him out in surviving all the attacks. But I think it would have been kind of interesting if... Sorry if you hear that, someone's shooting off fireworks right now. So I'm sorry. If you hear that, there's fireworks going on. I apologize. But what if Twilight just went, like, due to built up sadness, anger, everything that's happened? I really think it would have been interesting if Twilight just went in for the attack. Did not talk, did not monologue, because, let's be honest, Twilight does make these monologues and lectures about friendship and the magic of friendship and being better. What if she didn't do that? What if she just directly attacked Opaline? Now, I definitely, because I know Twilight would make some kind of, not Twilight, I do know Opaline would make the comment, oh, what are you going to do? Talk about friendship? And then what if Twilight just instantly took a blast at her? That would take Opaline completely off guard. And think about that. She'd be like, and I would love to think that Opaline would be thinking, wait a minute, like, okay, this is new. She's not monologuing, she's not lecturing, she's just out to get me. I think that kind of would scare Opaline just a little bit, but I could see her trying to antagonize Twilight, and what, does Opaline know that her friends are stone? I think it'd be kind of interesting if that she knew this, because maybe that would explain why she has the friendship chest from Season 4 in her castle. And what if she was to try and antagonize Twilight, saying, first I will defeat you, I will get rid of you, then I'll go find your friends wherever they're napping and get rid of them. And I could see that setting Twilight off. I could see Twilight getting to the point of badly injuring Opaline. And maybe some interference from Sunny, because, I think it would be also kind of interesting. We have seen the story done before of where you hear of the hero, but then you see them and they're like, they do some how they're not, like, in the book you read they're very noble, very just, but then you're like, see them going out to be like this, and you're thinking, that wasn't in the stories, that wasn't in the book, and Sunny maybe tries to calm Twilight down because this is not what she was like, and Twilight I don't think would, get aggressive with her, but, is focused on Opaline. I can also see some interference from Allura, maybe slowing Twilight down just a pinch, and, I don't know. I could see Twilight probably they would go with the most obvious, where she tries to talk Opaline down, and then it leads into a fight, but I think what would really throw off the audience and make them go, oh shit, she ain't holding back. She ain't holding back now. I think that could make the story interesting, because now you got a Twilight Sparkle that is just has thousands of years of pent-up rage and sadness against the one pony that pretty much ruined everything. And now, you know, that could have really made a good, interesting story. I just wanted to bring this up, but there is one other thing I want to bring up. Scribbler actually did just give us a 8-minute sneak peek of the next episode of History Repeats. And spoilers for the ending of the last episode, seems Twilight Sparkle and Spike end up in the ruined city of Tambalon. And Spike at that end grows into his giant form from the episode Secret of My Excess. And in this little sneak peek, and it says it's coming soon, so I'm going to say maybe September, or between September and November, because Scribbler does do things for the month of Macabre. So if I had to say the most likely time that episode is going to come out, it is October. But we have a giant Spike who basically, due to the dark magic, has made him grow, and he's going all Jurassic Park on Twilight, chasing her, and she's trying to talk him down, and it's not really working. I said at the end of that sneak peek, I'm like, Twilight, I'm sorry, if he's not gonna back down, if you can't get through to him, just blast your magic at him and knock him out until you find some way to get you and him out of there and calm him down, you know? I think they should have done that. I think she should have done that. I'm sorry. I get it. Spike is not in his right mind right now, but he's not showing any sign of stopping, except when Rarity was brought up. I really think, Twilight, you should have just blasted him with magic and knock him out or something until you find a way to get out of Tambalon and get him to calm down. But it's really nice to see that that's still going. She's just, as she said in one of her posts, she's just being very slow. It's kind of slow with her audio dramas right now. I don't blame her, you know. But good things come to those who wait. And, yeah. But before I really wrap this up, I wish to, Lightning Bliss. She just put out a video today about Gen 5, and, you know, she gave her opinion. I have to say, I do respect her opinion, and I'm just, you know, I get it with your opinion, but, you know, I like it when people are considerate, respectful, and tasteful with their opinion, not just being outright mean. And I gotta say, once again, like with Lost and Magpie, Lightning Bliss has my respect for being, yes, she's being honest, she's being legit, she did give Gen 5 a chance, she just wasn't one of those people that were like, oh, I don't like it, I'm not gonna watch it at all, you know, but it wasn't her cup of tea, and she was honest about it. But she wasn't mean at all. She was just being honest and straightforward, like Mag and Lost. And those three have my respect. And I can't thank them enough for being considerate, but being honest at the same time. I thank you three. That's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. So, till next time, I'm going to tell you really quick, my next video will probably be about the team-up between Allura and Opaline, which I think would have made a very interesting team-up. So, look out for that video. That may be coming out tomorrow. So, until tomorrow, I am Draco Prime 220, signing off, saying, all have a good night, try and stay cool, be safe, and if you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe and help my channel continue to grow. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you. Good night, everyone.